Hi, friends. I'm really glad that you can be here with us today. I have a very special friend I've known for 25 or more years when he came here with his wife to study in the clinical psychology master's uh, group at Wheaton grad, and now he's back with his son who's going to be taking the same master's. This is Dr. Robert Rajagukguk, but what I wanted him to share so that you would know, because he's coming from Indonesia, is that he has founded this center for holistic integrative psychology. CHISAI is, I think, how they call it. And let me give you the description. It's a Christ-centered ministry that brings together mental health issues, emotional healing, and spiritual wellness. This is a global effort, a global ministry, and I've asked him today to teach on empathy, one of the things he teaches in this center. And we were laughing together. He's preparing 20 minutes, but in Indonesia, maybe he could speak in his own native language for 2 hours. And I said, no, I don't think so this time. So he's promised just 20 minutes. And I am so proud to have him here and grateful that he can share what God's been teaching him all these decades. So you're on, Robert.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mary Lou. It's an honor for me to talk about empathy. I'm from helping professional background. I'm a clinical psychologist by profession, but also doing mostly counseling. So counseling is helping. We try to help people. So I learned for years that in order to help people, we need to understand. In order to understand, then we need to listen. That's why listening is the basic skills for those who want to help others through counseling or even in all mental health field. So to listen, it means we need to master a very important skills, which is empathy, empathic understanding, or a skill to listen. Some people say it's an art to listen. I like that. But to have it as an art, you need to master the skills. That's why we need to train ourselves about empathy because it's not come like natural in ourselves, because human being tends to be self-centered. Whether empathy, it means you're not focused on yourself, but you're focused on somebody else. Maybe you heard about try to put yourself on somebody's shoes. It means empathy, basically you put yourself in someone's perspective, so you will understand how they feel, what the thought, and all the maybe the situation that come with your story. So of course everybody has story. So empathy is like a big word. Yeah. We often heard about empathy, but what is empathy? Maybe we'll try to understand empathy first. And this is very important because the world now is very loud, a lot of distraction. That's why we need to train ourselves to have this empathy. Even as a wife, as a husband, yeah, As parents, we need to have these empathy skills, so our beloved will be feeling that they are understood, being understood, and being heard. And we don't have to give them some instruction to help themselves. You just listen. Sometimes it's very effective, because most people, they just want to be understood. We That's why empathy is very important. But first thing, we need to know that empathy is not the same with sympathy. When we say empathy, we actually equal. But sympathy is like we put ourselves in the very superior, better position. So we say sorry because you experience something that less than you expected. Yeah. So basically, empathy is not about feeling sorry of someone, but you feel with someone. Feel with someone, it means you understand how they feel. So empathy is the ability to step into someone else's emotional world, to tense what they might be feeling, to sit with them, and not try to fix them, not try to change them, and also, of course, not try to control them, to tell them what to do. So empathy will say, I may not fully understand, but I'm here to listen. It will say that your feeling is matter to me. How you feel is matter to me. Yeah. So how does empathy sound like? It sounds like we say, it must be really hard for you. I'm here if you want to talk about it. So being available is part of the skill in empathy. Or it sounds maybe, I don't know what to say, but I'm here for you. Or we can express our understanding that we said that makes total sense, but I probably feel the same if I'm in your shoes. So what does not like empathy? It is not empathic if we said you should done this, don't be like this, don't be so sensitive. Yeah, let's look from the bright side. So we try to give them a quick solution without understanding how they really feel. So even though we often say that with a good intention, because we want to help them, so how does it in real life? Think about a moment in your life when you are struggling and someone truly listened. They didn't rush on you, they didn't judge you, they were just there, present. That moment probably stay with you. Now think about the reverse. When someone dismiss your feelings, or when you talk, they will change the subject or give you advice when you're not ready to hear that. So that also leave a marks, and maybe you feel frustrated because they don't really listen to you. So how can we practice the empathy? It's very simple actually. The first one, we can, come, do simple things. Just be curious about the story, but not controlling. Yeah. We can ask questions like, what's that been like for you? Instead of, why didn't you just do this? Yeah. And the second thing, we can just reflect what you hear, what you listen. By the way, sometimes we misunderstand about hearing and listening. Hearing is we can just hear any sounds in our surrounding, but listen is actually intentional. We focus on what someone is telling us. By focus, it means we can uh, really understand their perspective. So reflection, the feeling, reflection, the situation, reflection also their thinking. Yeah. So the third thing, sometimes we just be there, be silent. Yeah. For example, if someone is mourning, they just lose their beloved, we don't have to say anything. But sometimes we respond in cliche, we say be strong, or we say something that they don't really want to hear. So we need to train ourselves to be comfortable in silence, not saying anything. So empathy is about being with people, not above them. That's why it's different with sympathy. So we all carry invisible stories. Maybe the person next to you in the train, or you're co-working in a meeting, even in the house, yeah, at home. Empathy, actually, we are creating a space for those who are struggling with their battle in life. So we create a room for them. We facilitate the healing process by listening, by reflecting, maybe summarizing the story. When we summarize, it's like we are reflecting so they can see themselves in a mirror. But the mirror has to be very clean, spotless. Spotless means we don't put our assumption, our bias, so they can see themselves. When when we reflect, then they realize maybe they got insight from about their story. They can see themselves in our response to them empathically. So that's the power of empathy. So empathy is not trying to solve every problem. It is important, but it's sometimes the problem cannot be solved easily. But somehow people would love to have someone else who will listen, understand, and give them some space, give them some time to process, because the healing might not come easily or quickly. But then they will process by themselves. We believe that everybody actually understands about their problems. They just need someone else to help them, to be with them. That's the purpose of empathy. Well, maybe it will not erase your pain and also undo what has been done. But empathy does something even more powerful. At least we convey this, that you are not alone. I am here with you. So building empathy is like building a bridge, well level. Can you imagine a bridge? We come from both sides. So we are building relationship. It can be cognitive bridge. So our perspective, we understand that their thinking or their point of view. It can be emotional bridge, like feeling the emotion like someone is feeling. Of course, it's not easy, yeah, to build a bridge. It can be relational bridge. It's like building a trust, yeah, trusting relationship. People usually will open to someone that they can trust, of course. So empathy, when we express our understanding about someone, and they will think that they can trust us. If they can trust us, then they can explore more about their feeling. And as a counselor, I think our role is to facilitate how they explore themselves and then they will increase their self-awareness. When they increase their self-awareness, then they might find some insights or understanding about themselves. Like I said, sometimes our role as a counselor is just being a spotless mirror so they can see themselves by our reflection. I think that's all I can say about empathy. I hope it will help us, as parent, as husband, as wife, as colleague, and even in our daily relationship. People would like to have someone that really understand them. They can feel their feeling. It doesn't have to be in a counseling room. Yeah, of course, as a counselor, we need to master the skills of empathy, because that way we can facilitate the healing process in someone. Although sometimes the solution is not very easy, it doesn't come quickly, but they will be in the process of healing. That's about empathy. Thank you for listening.
I have a question.
Yes.
In many cultures outside of the West, it is a shame issue to talk about a need that you have, and so counseling has not been well received in many of these cultures, and you've experienced that.
Yeah.
How have you dealt with barriers in cultures where they don't want to share their needs outside of the blood family?
Yeah, because in collective culture, when they share about themselves, they actually taking a risk that they're revealing the whole family issues, because we are in the Eastern culture. We are representing our communities. That's what we sense. So we are not ourselves. So we need to be very careful, because it's gonna cause, a consequence to the whole, like our parents or my great parent. For example, they know my family name. I cannot just represent my name, Robert, because my name is also come with the family, the whole family, like 17 generation, and that's why it's gonna bring shame to the whole community. That's why we don't openly express our thought or our feeling, and even our problems. So we need to understand that it's not very easy. But actually, in my experience, we can just focus on that person and try to understand him like a person, and it will help them to express that this is about me and I need help. That's why I need to open up, because opening is the beginning of healing. If they can open, then it's very hard. I would say the access is closed, so I cannot help. So maybe they will be encouraged to share more about their problem.
Thank you, Robert.
You're welcome.